Warning, the following video has spoilers for the books below. If you haven't read them yet, just go do it. They're really good. Let's get on with the video. Roaming hills and forests deep, on human bones it makes its bed. But weary Raow cannot sleep, till once again the pile is fed. It prowls beyond the fire's light, warrior, hunter, girl, and boy. The Raow savors every bite, a succulent face, the monster's joy. Steer clear of lonely hills at night, the sunset shadows you must race. The Raow's grip is oh so tight, as deeply she bites into your face. While the creatures known as Raow have been a mystery to many readers, we have increasingly learned more and more now that we have 4 different books that have featured them to some degree. The poem we started the video with actually holds many truths, so let's start with that. Regarding the first stanza, we know that the Raow do in fact make a bed with the bones of their victims. Suri finds a Raow bone pile in a Rawl, while Tesh and Bryn find one in Alanrist. The second half of the phrase is confirmed when Bryn overhears a Raow stating, "I'm hungry, it's been a long time, I'm tired and need to sleep." Then we have the second stanza. We learn that Raow are indeed afraid of fire, and more specifically, light, during Tesh's fight with Raow. The resulting fire wasn't large, not even dangerous. Anyone could have stomped out the flames or just stepped aside. Instead, the Raow shrieked in terror, wide, bulbous eyes filled with panic. It ran. We know that Raow eat humans, and there is definitely no doubt that when a Raow devours a human, the face is their favorite part. The faces of those you eat. She has a lovely face. You almost had your face eaten off. Raow love faces, reaching for Persephone's face. These features provided the identity rather than his face, because he no longer had one. Yeah, Raow definitely loved the face. The third stanza is again talking about their fear of light and their love of faces. It also mentions their common tactic of gripping their victims across the mouth so they can't scream. This happens several times throughout the stories. It also points to their inhuman strength. We see this in cases such as when a Raow fights Nephron, Tesh, and Sebek in Alanrist, and also when a Raow makes an inhuman jump in Neath. So what else do we know? In terms of description, the best one we get comes from Persephone. Pale as the underbelly of a dead fish, the thing was tall, lanky, and thin. Its arms could touch the floor with barely a bend to its back. Long, thin strands of black hair hung from a grotesque head, the locks shrouding much of its body like a brittle cloak. Just as Suri said, it had claws, sharp-pointed nails of ebony, yellow teeth, and bleeding gums. We also see a Raow squeeze its way through an impossibly small window, to the point where Tesh remarks it's as if it didn't have bones. We know that Raow are capable of speech and are somewhat intelligent, to the point of making mutually beneficial agreements with humans. So this brings us to the big question: what actually is a Raow? Tesh says that they come from bodies left unburied, people who were wronged in life, betrayed usually. Tura says a Raow is an evil spirit that invades a person who is lost. A Raow, while speaking to Suri, states, "I'm what those like you become. Little ones with power grow up to be big ones with desires. Imagine the lust for life after you've been living for several decades. And just picture how powerful you'll be by then. So potent that the rules won't apply to you. When the day comes to leave your body and move on, you'll refuse, same as I did." All of this information has led to the most common theory on what a Raow actually is. The theory states that a Raow is a person whose soul, at the time of death, due to an immense negative emotion such as a betrayal or intense greed or ego, decides not to enter Pyre but instead returns to their dead body. The body and soul are then grotesquely transformed into the being we know as a Raow. This is very similar to how Frey, who break Pharaoh's law, cannot enter Pyre, and so their souls return to Elan, and then are able to inhabit other bodies. Or how Muriel has stated that souls who are angry enough sometimes choose not to enter Pyre and walk Elan as ghosts. This theory works well with how the Raow in Rochelle is often attributed to be Glenmorgan III. Glenmorgan III was betrayed by his nobles and was sealed up within secret tunnels within Blythen Castle. After dying, this betrayal could have caused him to return as a Raow, which then would be the perfect creature to escape the tunnels and go on to terrorize Rochelle. The theory goes on to state that a Raow can sleep once they have killed, because they can use the victim's soul to get to Pyre temporarily. There is also the thought that a Raow may indefinitely hold power over their victims' souls until the Raow is killed or the bones are laid to rest. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Be sure to subscribe and watch my other videos to learn more about the world of Elan and Riyria. Thanks!